Ayo, the Devlog here. Hey, it's been a while, but I have finally updated my zombie game. Here's what I did. I started by changing the health system, because regenerating health is dumb and it's very boring. So now your health doesn't regenerate anymore, and you need health packs to actually heal. So then I made some health packs, and before I could make the healing animations, I got a blue screen. Like, I'm not even joking. My computer just straight up, after I got my computer working again, I made some animations for healing. You got the classic carrot chomp and the teeny tiny little bandage healing mortal wounds. Okay, sure, that's cool. Now because the health system is a little different, I buffed the zombies' damage. It went from 4 damage on round 1 to 20 damage. This made the game less forgiving. Then I started making a new power-up. Oh hell! It's just a giant potion. I even tried to make it appear that it actually holds liquid. Now, all I had to do was record the voice line. Potion seller! Okay, time for some minor tweaks. I made a little change to the mystery box. Basically, you don't need to click on the weapon to pick it up. You could just click on the box. Also, you can't stockpile weapons anymore, because now, don't look at them, boom, gone, no more. Alright, now the level that I made is fine, I guess, but it definitely needs an upgrade, both visual and gameplay. So, I started by adding extra geometry and playtesting with it. It seemed like a good change, and it made the map much harder. So, with the new layout, I went to Blender and started modeling some props, made the broken walls have rebar, and stuff like that. The place now a lot better. What the? This is literally in my script. Like, now that I started this visual upgrade, the trees have to go. I mean, look at these goop trees. So I started by drawing some leaves and modeling a tree. The problem with the tree was that it was static. It didn't move in the wind, and I didn't know how to make it move. And then Unity was like, I got you, fam. It turns out you can just make procedural trees in Unity. They look good and they're actually affected by the wind. Now I just added some props to the map. I even changed the wood texture to fit the more gritty style. To completely finish this map, I started drawing blood decals and placing them all over the map. Here you can see the before and after. I think it turned out great. Visually, it's a big upgrade, and gameplay wise, it fixes a lot of things. Hold on, what's that? What? Only 16% of my viewers are actually subscribed? Consider subscribing now. Cheers. Anyway, with the map complete, it was time for something people have been requesting, and it's grenades. Alright, time to add one. As always, I started by modeling the grenade. Then I made some animations to actually arm the grenade, and before making the explosion effect or adding sounds, I made sure the grenade actually dealt damage. And damage it sure dealt. Look at these guys just floating. Look at this one, literally doesn't care. Okay, now it was time for the explosion effect. It took an entire day and the results are disappointing. This explosion is fine, but it's not the best. So then I decided to become an audio engineer again, and I made the boom sound. Sounds good? Alright, now that I was already making effects, it was time to make some actual impact particles. So I did some drawing, and now the different materials have different impacts, like concrete, metal, wood, and default. The blood was next to change, so I did some drawing, realized I suck at drawing blood, and then I used Blender to make the blood textures. Now I had amazing blood effects. Or so I thought. You see, the blood looked amazing in the editor, but when I exported the game, it wasn't working. I found the cause of the issue, but there wasn't a good solution. So, after losing my mind for a few days, I just got a different particle shader. That works. Quick note, I added a sound for round switching. Now, with the effects complete, I continued polishing the game. I was thinking of adding sprint animations, and then this person suggested them as well. So I knew I had to implement this, and it was really simple. Just pose the gun and simply transition to this pose when sprinting. Alright, now for the important bit, the upgrade station. A lot of people wrote some cool suggestions, some even suggested infinite upgrades, but I actually decided to make the visuals first. Ray suggested that the upgrade station is a washing machine wired to a computer, because why not? And this did sound amazing, so I started making it. It turns out I can't make this concept look cool. Like, look at this. This looks not cool. And it turns out making something look cool is actually difficult. On my 5th attempt, I made this. It's an enchanting, power-infusing thing. Alright, now for its functions. Basically, you spend 5,000 points to upgrade your held weapon. After a few seconds, your weapon gets injected with magic and it gains some damage and a random stat upgrade. You can upgrade the same gun 3 times, each time getting more and more damage. It's probably not as interesting or as in-depth as the previous upgrade station, but I think its simpler style fits the game better. What do you think? What random effects should I add? Maybe Dragon's Breath rounds? Also, the upgraded gun effect is not my favorite, but I thought it's better than nothing. The game is still missing a lot of sounds, so I started with the ambience. I added an ambient sound, made a system that changes the sound based on your position. Basically, you get close to a window or a hole in the wall and you can hear the wind and the crickets better. Alright, so the zombies are completely silent and it's kind of weird, so I gave them voices.
Whoa! Ah! Ah! Donuts.
My throat still kinda hurts, so I found these sound effects online and they fit really well. Now, to finish this update, I wanted to add a few more guns. But making guns takes a long time. For example, to create this bolt action rifle, I need to model it, UV unwrap it, bake its textures, rig it, create the first person animations, and then make the sounds. For this particular weapon, it took 18 attempts to get the final shoot sound. Next, I made a top break revolver. Again, I went through exactly the same process, and now there are 2 extra weapons in my game. Some people suggested I added a wonder weapon, so I decided to make a ray gun. But instead of straight up copying COD, I came up with my own design. It took quite a bit of trial and error, but I made this. It's a railgun, ray gun type of thing, and it shoots lasers. But the laser still looks bad, so I made some effects. I started by making the trail texture, then I made a glowy orb, added some rings, sparks and a light. And there you go, a ray laser type of thing. To make the laser pierce zombies, I copy pasted the piercing code from the last video. A few people suggested adding lore to the game, so since I don't have a lot of time, here you go. You have the last name of the ray gun's creator. Truly some lore. That's about it. I know it is probably a bit disappointing that I didn't make a new map, but I just want to polish the existing features and add some new ones. There were a lot of suggestions, so I couldn't add all of the things you all mentioned, but I do have a big question. How should the game be named? At the time of making this video, my zombie game has no name. And that's kinda sad. So if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them. Also, in the next video, I'll be adding a new map. So if you have any ideas for levels, I'd love to hear them. I've been thinking of making a map under an unfinished nuclear cooling tower, because I thought these pictures looked cool. Or I was thinking of something more simple, like a church on top of a hill with a fog mechanic or something. Anyway, looking forward to hearing from you. Like, subscribe, and see you soon. Hopefully. Well,